tacos, enchiladas, chilaquiles, tostadas, quesadillas, nachos. What do they all have in common? They use tortillas. A tortilla press is often used to make one of the staple Mexican foods, corn tortillas. Learning about the significance of the tortilla press will give you a deeper understanding of Mexican culture. First, I want to talk about the significance of the tortilla press and what it represents to Mexican culture. Second, I will explain why I identify with the culture. The tortilla press facilitates the process of making tortillas, and tortillas are a big part of Mexican cuisine and diets. It is very cost efficient and cheap to make. The purpose of the tortilla press is to quickly make perfectly round tortillas by putting a ball of maize in between the two flat surfaces and pressing down on the lever instead of rolling them out with a rolling pin. By making them very thin and almost flat, they can be heated up very quickly. They're either made from wood or metal, with the wooden ones being more affordable and the latter being more expensive and higher quality. Because in a typical Mexican dinner, as many as 20 tortillas can be consumed in one sitting. The item is important to the culture because it is used to make one of the staples in most Mexicans' diets, tortillas. With only corn flour and water, one is able to make fresh tortillas that can provide basic adequate nutrition where they can be eaten alongside other foods. Eating frijoles de la olla with queso fresco and tortillas is a very basic and delicious meal. And for many centuries, corn was one of the main food plants for many indigenous groups like the Aztec Empire. Corn was also very important and sacred to the Aztecs and other indigenous groups in the Americas, and it still continues to be important to the cultures that utilize it still. The tortilla press is a tool in the kitchen that helps keep the person from touching food, and it symbolizes freshness and quality. Now that I have talked about the significance of the tortilla press in Mexican culture, I will explain why I identify with this culture. I embraced my culture and it was quite delicious. I have held on because it is a part of everyday life for me. The tortilla press is something we still utilize to this day, and it is an everyday part of our normal lives. Growing up, I would always remember eating homemade tortillas that my mom made, that my abuelita made, that my tia made, and other family members would make. I would eat huevos rancheros for breakfast with a tortilla, a bean burrito for lunch, enchiladas for dinner. So by essentially eating tortillas on a daily basis and growing up in a Mexican household, I absorbed the culture and literally ate it. To this day, my family and many others continue to make tortillas at home with their meals. My mother still makes fresh tortillas for dinner, and sometimes I help her by pressing the tortillas while she kneads and balls up the maize. By participating in the process of making tortillas, I was able to appreciate the quality and freshness of homemade tortillas over store-bought ones. To this day, there are still tortilla shops in Mexico where people depend on for the sales of their tortillas for their livelihood. Today, you learned the importance of the tortilla press to the Mexican culture. First, I told you a little about the significance of the tortilla press in Mexican culture and what it represents in Mexican culture. Second, I told you how I identify with my Mexican culture. When eating homemade tortillas, one should take the time to appreciate and acknowledge the time, effort, and dedication put into making such a simple food.